Okay, we are live now.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for another session. So, for today, I will be doing a session on creative arts. Like, it's just a few methods that we will be looking at how to use it, how to practice it, and what are the benefits we'll get. Okay, so that's what we are going to do for today. Apart from that, I am Janet. I am working with the Able Mind. So I will be conducting this session today. I hope this is going to be a creative and like interactive session. So I would encourage everyone to be active and participate. So it's a good way for us to learn new things and see how we can use it in our day-to-day life, right? Okay. So let's just get started. So we all have practiced or tried drawing some kind of artwork, craft growing up. But very often, unfortunately, that's all like left behind because often more attention is given to academics or any other like it's just basically sidelined when we try to focus on other things in life. Creativity sort of is sidelined, right? So it's a very important aspect, and yet we all tend to like somewhere lose touch with our creative self. So, for today's session, we are going to look into a couple of methods through which we can practice and we can learn how to use these methods to include it, like as means of like helping us unwind, helping us get in touch with our creative self, basically express yourself more in through art, right? So that's the main uh, point of like this session. So we'll shortly get started. Before that, if anyone would like to share their own opinions about art and crafts, uh, maybe something that has been close to you, that maybe even if it is something that you haven't done in a really long time, I would encourage our participants to please share their own personal experiences with art. It could be crafts, it could be music, it could be dance, any form of art is okay. So go ahead and maybe you can share a few things that you remember or you'd like to share from your personal experience.
Sangeeta ji, do you have anything to share on
No,
this
no, I would
topic?
like to hear first from her.
Okay, so like first, then can we just like first continue the topic and anyway we can take uh, the participants' response on the same, like if it's possible.
Yes, yes, sure. So, as I said, today's topic is around art. So, as I was saying, there is various aspects of art, right? So, we are going to try out a few methods to practice art, which usually helps us to unwind and also get in touch with our creative self. Creative self is basically something that is more liberal, that's like our own, like, it depends on each person's personal experience and what it means to them. Someone might enjoy singing, they might like music. Another person might enjoy more of uh, dancing. While everything is interconnected, everyone has a personal experience with art itself. Similarly, even when it comes to like simple acts of, practicing. um art in everyday life can really enrich our life, right? So especially at a time like uh, this, where our, like, life is so fast paced and we hardly get time to get in touch with ourselves. So this can be a good opportunity for us to get in touch with ourselves once again, right? So basically, this is what the concept is. Often, like, they can be, I think in the last session, we did discuss about like how there is something like ageism, or where it can limit people. It can often, even when we speak about art, it is looked at something that is practiced mostly by young children, young people, and that is not what art is really. Art is for everyone. And to be very honest, when we are in touch with our creative selves, it keeps us young. Like, and there is no set age or any limitations on what art should be, and how who should practice it, right? It is for everyone. And as I said, it is a personal experience for everyone. So it doesn't have to be one particular form of practice, but to be very honest, anything that you truly enjoyed. um, while we mostly focus on like limitations and thinking maybe like, oh, it doesn't seem like something we can do. That's really not true. That is really just a limitation for us. Rather, when we start practicing in whatever way we can, whatever you enjoy, whatever you like, it doesn't even have to be something that you used to do or you need to be an expert. That is the whole point of like practicing art. It is purely for the pleasure of it, for enjoying participating, to do the activity itself. That is the whole point of art. So it doesn't have to mean that, like, you need to be a expert in it, you need to be really good at it. Rather, it could be just something that you're simply doing in your free time. It can be something playful, it can be something that you just enjoy, and it can be personal affair. You don't even have to share it. It doesn't have to be um, like it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you need to show to others, or there's no particular set places you need to do it. Maybe you can do it with your family. Maybe you can practice a little bit of art, see what are the things that each of you enjoy. It can also be a good way for you to connect with your family and your loved ones. But at the same time, this is not to compare each other or say like someone else is like an expert or thing. As I said, it's just to practice and see what it gives you, and it is for the experience itself, right? So that's pretty much it. And going back to the question I had first asked, basically, I was asking, like, what is your own personal experience with art? It could be any form of art. It could be something that you used to do, something you still do, something that you are really fond of. Whatever art means to you, your own personal experience, right? You can please feel free to share it.
Sangeeta ji, Neeraj, do you have anything to contribute here regarding your personal experience or anything that you think about art itself?
In as she rightly said, in the childhood you do so many things, no, crafts, drawing, etc., which
Yeah.
somehow as time passes it fades out.
Yeah.
So
So are the
that
uh,
much passion is not there to revive it or continue it.
why?
True.
Like ma, um,
So yes, there is a lot of like maybe limitation. It could be even that like we sometimes hear from other people that um, oh that seems childish. A lot of things like that we were very fond of that brought us a lot of joy. As you said, we lose touch of it. So today the reason we had this session is to help us reconnect with like small little practices like that, to understand that there's so much out there. Like it's not age bound at all, as sometimes it can like be projected that way, but that is not true at all. There is a different like perspective on art right now. In the recent years we have a come across a lot of studies which helped us like pay attention to how much art does help our lives, and how much it helps us like continue to be in touch with our creative self, to feel younger, and to it's just a way of expressing yourself even. Sometimes journaling doesn't work for people. Sometimes like unwinding exercises or activities, uh, for sometimes it can become monotonous. So we want to make a little like changes, rather than just practicing a set practices to help you unwind. Yes, of course, like we will be looking into mindfulness practices and meditation as well in the coming sessions. But along with that, practicing art by itself can help you feel so happy to be able to continue to do what you enjoyed, right?
Can I say something? Sorry.
Yes, of course.
I was just wondering, in all that you've said so far, you actually haven't said what you consider comes under the word art. You've mentioned it many, many times. You've said that art is very helpful,
Yes.
and somehow you made it, to me, I'm not hearing, you made it almost simple as you've used the word art and craft, or you, but I mean, I am presuming that art means many things.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, I would really appreciate it if you spoke more about what what you include under the word art, and also why you think otherwise it remains very theoretical. That, I mean, of course we know that creative things are are helpful, but it's not very clear to me, uh, in a sense, the substance of what you're saying, why you're saying. So that's why I'd like more clarity from you as to what you consider um, comes under
Yes.
art.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm um, glad. So, yeah, for today, we're going to be focusing on a couple of forms of art. So, as you said, there are various types of art practice. There's music, there's dance, there's so many other aspects of art. But today, we are going to be primarily focusing on a couple of like basic, like, drawing, painting, things like that. This comes under that. So we are going to be doing Mandela, then doodling, and a few other forms of things which you can practice on day-to-day basis. These we have chosen a couple of these art practices, so that like it's something that you can do anytime. It's not too demanding, anybody can do it at any time, especially when you consider doodling or even mandala is so simple. Like there are a lot of books available which are like easy for you to just buy it, and you just have to color it and shade it or whatnot. So there's simpler forms of practicing art now, which like can just make it easier for everyone, and it kind of adds to a lot of like splash, like just a different activity to do rather than like doing the same things, right? So every now and then, and of course if you are someone who's enjoying doing these things, you can continue to do it. There's beginner level too, there's like expert level, so there's a lot of things that you can practice. So coming to why I feel that this is important is just because it is a new thing, right? So it doesn't like it's not very limiting, as as we have been discussing. This is something that a lot of times we get like we lose touch with it, right? The drawing and craft and all of these things are things that we did when we were very young, probably growing up. And that also during classes, like there's very little of uh, people practicing it outside, right? So doing this can help you like acknowledge, like even discover that you are good at something that you probably never knew until now. And another thing is this is actually very liberating. It doesn't confine you. So these forms are actually not supposed to confine you, but they are supposed to help you explore your creative self. So that is the main aspect of this, right? So I hope I have answered your question. So we can look into it. Like I would like to demonstrate a few of it. It's very simple. We are just going to look into a couple of ways to do this, so that like maybe you can also like follow up. And because we also have a lot of content on YouTube, Instagram, so if there is anything that you like, there's always spaces for you to go and like find more, and see how you can like expand on that, right? So this is basically like to just understand and see that okay, this is out there, right? So that's the gist of it. So we'll get started. Okay. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay.
Actually, Janet, it is pretty blur. The output,
Okay,
video
the
output is
screen
pretty.
is not properly. Okay. Just give me a minute.
Yeah. So till the time Janet is setting all her setup, I just wanted to ask a few questions to Sangeeta ji and Meera ji. Like of course, I'm not like around. I'm not even 30 plus at the moment. But yesterday I was discussing some topics and points with my colleague. He's approx 15 years older than me, and we were talking about topics which are like in only a time span of 15 years. Like she knows a lot about it and I really don't know anything about it. So it's like this, there is a layer. See, after
Mhm.
you reach a certain age, okay,
Mhm.
so things just blur out. So according to you, the Sangeeta ji and Meera ji, are there any forms of art that you think it at during your age, when you were 15 or 16, did you have any forms of art that you think, yeah, this would go on for ages, but abhi ke time pe no one is practicing them anymore? Are there some form of arts or some things you find it very like uh, I'll not say playful, but you find it very relaxing to do, and it has not been practiced in this day of age. Are there anything such you would like to share?
Can't remember exactly.
Anything, any small activity that you might have been doing with your friends, playing हो गया, उसमें भी कोई game, anything that is not practiced at this day of age because everything is now on phones. अगर कुछ game भी खेलना है so we just open up our phone and okay 15-20 minutes pass time हो गया. But at your time you used to play a lot of physical games हो गया to keep yourself engaged in various activities. So because we have a very young, like not very young, but we have an audience age between like 15 to 30 on YouTube. So are there any games or any activities you would like to share for those audience?
Can't remember because we had played so many games, etc. But I mean, they are
Yeah,
not the ones that you can practice even now. In school
oh,
days, you have so many things. No, you learn crafts and all that.
yeah,
But that is all gone now. Now it is, I mean, too late for practicing those things.
yeah, that's true, that's true.
What is she going to show today?
Yeah, so
Has she got some books or something to show us?
actually we are gonna practice some form of art which is seem to have mm, mental this, what do we call it? Yeah,
Mandela. It's
yeah,
called Mandela.
yeah,
So I'm so sorry for the delay. So I'm still trying to get the camera setup thing done so that I can show you how it is done. So there's something called Zitangles, Mandela, doodling, and lastly, scribbling. So these three things are what we are going to look into. I'm just trying to set it up. It was like working until now. I don't know what happened. I'm still going to check how I can like fix it as soon as possible. Um, just give me a minute. Okay. Thank you. I'm so sorry for the delay.
I'm sorry, I don't know your name. The person who asked the question.
yeah, so sorry, I am Krish Patil from Team Genes.
Okay, your name is Krish.
Yeah, Krish Patil.
Okay. Okay. Actually, I don't really have a good answer to your question, which is why I was hesitating to speak. Um, I did very little craft in school.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I did very limited craft. So I can't say we had music and dance, but really just maybe one class in a whole week. There was very little emphasis on art, very little emphasis on creativity, and a lot of emphasis on academic achievement.
yeah,
So I have to say that if anything, we suffered from a lack of uh, exposure to art in our school. It's possible that if you were a creative person, you expressed yourself more, with external inputs.
yeah,
But yeah,
right,
I
right.
can't say the school was at all, uh, encouraged us to be creative in any particular way. But that's just my response, since
Yeah,
Janet was also still struggling with getting
yeah,
the camera focused. I just thought I'll mention that.
yeah. But what do you think about the current situation? Like, Abhi, this is quite shocking for me because I thought कि पहले के time पे because there was a less availability of phones and technology. Most of the
Yes.
people, most of the young kids would mostly indulge themselves in arts and other activities to like entertain themselves. So this was a shock to me. But what do you think about like if अभी your son हो गया आपका grandson anyone who अभी का जो schooling है, what do you think about it? Are they abhi focusing on art or and self creativity more, or is it the same as it was in your time?
Sorry, I should just say one last thing is I'm
Yeah.
actually not speaking for all schools or for everyone's
Oh,
experience. You know what I mean? Like it's quite possible, as Sangeeta ji was saying, it's quite
mhm.
possible that in some schools there was more emphasis on art and craft. It's always a very
Yeah.
mixed bag. Do you know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
it's
It
not
differs
that
from
that one
individual.
person's experience defines a generation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
I
True,
mean,
true.
I think you ask 10 different people, you'll get 10 different answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I just wanted to comment on that. But yeah, I think I'll leave the present generation to someone else.
Yes. Sure.
Yeah,
Sure. Thank you.
that's
That was a
okay.
pretty. Yeah. Okay. Sangeeta ji, do you have
Yeah.
anything to
So,
share?
yeah, there is a lot of difference in what we were taught and what the present children are taught. We were
Yeah.
taught to make things out of things like, to be thrown. तो उससे कुछ बनाना. That all we were taught. These days they buy so many things from the market and make some different projects. So
Yeah.
what is so big about it?
Yeah. I do remember this.
I mean, you were very small. I mean, in age. Earlier, the milk bottles would be there. So
Ah.
the caps would be of metal type. We would fold them and make a garland of it. So that all things, which things we were to be thrown, we were making things of it. These days, I have not
Okay.
seen any child doing that. They
Yeah.
have been asked. They go just to the market, buy those so many things, colors and all that, make something and give it. Bas project ho gaya. I don't think that is really creativity for the child. What does the child learn in that? Nothing.
True. True.
I may be
That's
wrong. I
true.
am not a teacher, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is, in our school also, actually this specific activity is called something in Marathi, but I'm not able to quite get it. So in our school, they would give some materials and बोलेंगे कि इसमें से जो चाहिए वो उठा लो and you
Hmm.
have to make something out of it. Is this the
Hmm.
same you are talking about?
In Marathi, they call it टाकाऊ पासून टिकाऊ.
Right, right, same, yeah.
टाकाऊ
Taka
पासून टिकाऊ. So this marble paper, we would make mats with marble paper, then different boards. That was up to fourth standard, of course. Then after that, we used to have drawing class. We used to have sewing class. We have stitched our own shalwar kameez in seventh or eighth standard. We had
Oh,
made knitting sweater of our own sweater in seventh standard. So that those things we were taught. But I mean, whether these children, the present children, know all these things, are interested to do also, we don't know. Because their activities are far different from what we did.
yeah, yeah.
And
अभी
I
के
don't know whether we are right or they are right. All are right in their own way, right?
right, right. So abhi in the current curriculum there is very little. I will not say very little, but there is not like a proper emphasis on creativity as just yet. But it is changing. Like hearing a lot of I'm
So
hearing
then
a
in
lot of
that, so buying things from the market and making things and presenting it to the school is no creativity of your
hmm,
own, is
yeah,
what I feel. I may be wrong because I'm not teacher trained for these things, or neither have my children been doing these things now. And I don't know what my grandson is doing because what they do in schools, I have not known.
Yeah.
We may discuss what they were taught and all that, but what activities they did in school is not discussed much.
So that's true. So अभी के time पे do you indulge yourself in some art or something or the other sort की, like I have I myself have a grandfather, and to pass time he would solve that sudokus in the paper. I don't know if he called it sudoku. It's like a quiz. वो slanting में होता है, vertical होता है.
What
In
is
the
that?
paper, it's like a quiz. Behind the newspaper,
Quiz. Presently, I am interested only in those sudokus, sudokus and crosswords.
yeah, my Dadaji is like is when he used to do that a lot. We had a bunch of newspaper. He just used to
That
solve
all
those
I am
quizzes.
interested in.
Yeah. तो अभी आर देयर लाइक ऐसा पहले के पेपर्स में तो बहुत आता था अभी
अभी भी आता होगा. There are some Marathi papers. In the content of that, the news is very less, but all full of these these crosswords only. I enjoy doing that even now. That was not there in school days, but of course, this was learnt recently, maybe 10, 12 years back. Anyway, where is our madam gone? She's still trying to set her
I'm
camera.
here. I'm here. It's finally set up. We can start.
Did you hear what we spoke?
no actually so sorry my connect there was a problem in my connectivity so like can I just get a small brief of what you just spoke abhi
I was able to hear you. Okay. Can we start?
Yes, please.
All right.
Waiting for you.
Yes. I'm so sorry for the mishap. Okay. So firstly, this is called Zetangles. So this is nothing but basically a single stroke. Okay, but it is the same pattern. We're gonna just repeat that. So there's various patterns in Zetangles. I'm just going to show you one. Okay. So you can start from wherever you want to, whatever pattern you feel like going for, right? So I'm just randomly doing
But
the
I can
pattern
see
here.
only a very small portion of what you're doing, please.
Yes, so I'm starting with a small part, so it's okay. Like, I think like you will be able to see it when I'm doing, right? So it's basically repetitive lines in a certain direction. As you see, like there is no like particular like pattern or anything that whatever you feel like doing like as a pattern that you can do, you can go ahead and do it. So it's not that it has to be a particular or anything. It's just that there are like various forms. So these are called rectangles. So as we are doing this, I just want to like share a few points along with that. I hope I'm audible.
You're
Am I
audible, but
audible?
we can't see what you're doing.
Okay, okay. You can see it now, right?
Yes, yes, now yes.
Yeah. So again, I want to just so it is just like a certain pattern. It could be straight lines, it could be curves, Here I'm doing just curves. You can do it straight lines also. It can be wavy lines. So there is no particular um, set
Okay.
pattern.
Now, do you you're telling us to paint them or what? We should do
So
this.
this is just drawing. You don't need to really paint. So this is just pattern. I'm just showing you the pattern. Okay. Okay. So you can like maybe you can color it. It's not that you can't color it. Okay. So this is one way to do it. So you can follow it in different direction. To be honest, like even I am like just trying things out because I don't like this is just about trying new things out. It doesn't have to be that you have to be good at it or anything like that. If you do enjoy it, then sure. Okay. Oh God. Okay. If you do enjoy it, then you can continue, but it doesn't have to be that you have to do the same pattern. So as I said, this is called Zettangle. So what it does is like it again gives you space to like literally draw lines in whatever direction you want, whatever pattern you want. And there are a few things that help us to like be creative. So here I'm like combining both the curves and the uh, other pattern that I did. So you can just freely do whatever patterns you like to do. So this is just an example because it will take time for me to like let me show you. This is just one side I've done it. Because it can like take a bit of time, I'm just going to show you small patterns of how it can be done, right? So yeah, so as I said, you can be like creative on like what kind of lines you want to draw, and you can change the pattern anytime you want. So it doesn't have to have like any anything like it's not
Madam,
restrictive basically.
Madam, please, we got this. Now tell us something different.
Okay, so this is done. Now I'm going to show you the next pattern, which is Mandela art. So this can be both done. Yeah. So I'm just going to again show you just part of it. I'm not going to do the whole part. So this is Mandela art, and here you just do coloring. So either you get colors where you can you just color it, or you can draw the whole thing. So you have patterns again for this. So I'm just going to outline and show you how you can do it. So you can pick a different color for each of these layers, right? And for each of them, you don't need to like particularly follow uh, anything. Whatever colors, whatever you want to do, you can do. And as we are like doing this, I want to just share with you a few things about Mandela art. So they are geometric designs. So it helps you to just it's circular in shape. Usually helps you to like unwind as you are doing this art. So it adds a lot of colors. You can be creative with your colors, and
it just gives you a lot of space. As you said, like I heard like some of what Sangeeta ma'am and you were sharing. So yes, we had a lot of restriction, and as you said, like growing up, art was not something that was like particularly prioritized, and it was more restrictive, and there was a lot of instructions on how to do it and when to do it, and so on. So the reason we are trying to continue to use these small forms of art, as I said, this is just like one part of art, and the reason we want to bring this back is because it helps you to be free and it helps you to find your own way to do things now without any restrictions or limitations as such, right? So this is just basically coloring, and while it can look very simple that oh it's just a coloring book kind of thing, it is very liberating. It is very nice to do things freely based on your own likings and what you want to do. So this is another form. Again, I'm not going to show you the whole thing. Yes, we color the whole thing, but I don't want to uh, do that now. So we are going to move on to the next part, which is doodling. Okay, so I'm going to use the same paper and show you how to do doodling, right? So doodling again is similar pattern, like the same kind of uh, image or pattern, but being a little different with it each time you draw it, right? So this is one, this is another type of thing. So the point of this is actually, as I said, each of these um, forms of like doing mandala or doodling or anything allows you to be creative, right? So none of these are like similar to each other. So when you are watching me do this, maybe it can seem like it's seeming like a activity or something, but then when you start doing it by yourself, it can really help you to uh, find ways to do your own things, right? So this is basically doodling. There's a lot of other ways to do this as well, where you can like, I'm just using hearts here as my repetitive pattern, but you can of course use your own patterns as well. So this is doodling. Once we finish all of this, I'm going to share with you what is the uh, benefits of each of it, right? So now we are going to finally look at scribbling. This is going to look like the craziest one because it doesn't like really have anything at all. What I like to do is scribbling is what like basically this. This is what scribbling basically is. And this is also another way to express yourself. Imagine like feeling really angry or upset and you're feeling sad, but you're not able to talk to anyone about it. Even you are not able to understand what you are going through, to share it with people. At times like that, using art like this can actually help you just release that pent up feeling. Even if you are not using words, you are using art, you are using a way to express yourself, right? What I like to do is like I like to hold like 2, 3 like sketches or pencils, whatever I can find. I usually hold it like there's 3 or 4 together and I scribble like this. For me, this is especially really nice because I feel like even though things can be messy, like at times our minds are like so clogged, and it's very hard to express ourselves and understand what you're going through. But adding color to it honestly brings uh, a certain sense of like hope that there's still color, right? So these are basically the four forms. I will be talking more on it, and now I'm going to move back to my laptop. Just give me a minute.
Yes. So I hope you can see me. Yeah. Yes. So, as I said, we looked into four different forms of practicing simple art that is going to help you to be creative. To be very honest, like the scribbling is my favorite because, as I said, at a time that we are not able to like really put words and we are not able to express or point fingers at what exactly you are feeling, doing this can really help you to feel like you are like having a way to just get what you're feeling out, right? It's a form of expression. Similarly, we say the same thing for listening to music or dance, but that's not something that we're going to look into today. Right now, as I said, we are just going to focus on these thing, and I want to start with the last one. So here are like a couple of like things that will benefit everyone. So it first of all helps in emotional release. As I said, when we are not able to put our emotions like in the right, like we are not able to understand them, we ourselves feel really overwhelmed and confused about it, to just release it, to just even if you're really angry or upset or sad, when you just scribble with even a pencil or whatever you can find, it can really be a form of like getting your pent up frustration or feelings out, right? Improved motor skills. So one of the things that it really helps is to help you um, be flexible and to improve your skills and coordination, right? So then there is stress and anxiety that we all experience at one point or the other. So that during times like that, scribbling is can be a good substitute for journaling. So everything that we have looked into today can be a substitute for journaling. So in fact, we have something called like our journaling, right? So if that is also not something that you want to do, that you feel like you need to put in a lot of effort or be consistent, and you'd rather practice something that it's less demanding for you, then these forms of art can really help. Putting on some like light music or any music that you usually enjoy, having a sip, like a cup of like warm tea, coffee, whatever drinks that you enjoy, even water, whatever you like, right? Just setting up the table and taking that time for yourself and just enjoying your drink and doing something like this. No words needed. You don't need to think about like what is causing you to feel that way. Sometimes it's just hard to think about it immediately. So at times like that, you can just use things like this to help you to just get express yourself, right? So this can be beneficial in that way. And yeah, Mandalas are something that have been like quite popular for quite some time now. But yes, some of the patterns can look very complicated. It can look like it's very hard to like, keep the patterns and color. But as I showed today, like there are a lot of patterns out there. So there are beginner level patterns which are like far more easy to practice as you are just starting off. So yes, that is one of the things. So I'm just going to share a few more things about it. So mindfulness and meditation. So drawing or coloring mandalas encourages mindfulness. The circular patterns and symmetry can be soothing, allowing everyone to focus on their thoughts and reduce their mental clutter. As I said, it's a state where you are feeling so overwhelmed and you're not able to use words to express yourself, even with yourself, then that is a good time to take a break and do something like this. Cognitive health, it helps you to take care of your cognitive health. Creating mandalas helps stimulate the brain, improving focus and memory. Emotional healing. Many people experience emotional challenges such as loss or isolation, um, sudden change. Creating mandalas can be therapeutic outlet to express feelings and encourage emotional healing. It is also a stress relief, right? An act of creating or coloring mandalas can be calming, can have calming effects, right? So, as I said, the reason why I also use colors in scribbling is because of a certain level of optimism colors do have, be it dark colors or light colors. Yes, light colors are mainly associated with brighter emotions, happier mood, and so on. But at the same time, using any color at all is really comforting because it can just enhance your mood. So, Z-angles. Again, the similar pattern, just drawing it, just drawing lines. It's basically drawing lines, but as you are drawing the lines, when you just start doing it, you get to realize like how beautifully in the end it looks. When you are starting off, it might not look great. So sometimes in life, like it can also be a hopeful thing that sometimes starting off something new or starting off anything at all can bring stress, and it can maybe it might not look so great in the beginning, but as you go through the process, it really helps you a lot, and it helps you to just be creative and uh, realize that even a simple act of um, drawing lines can really help you to recognize that you are more capable. It might seem like a lot, but once you start practicing, you're going to realize how much of an impact this is having in your life because it allows you to truly be creative. There's no restriction. Nobody is commanding. Nobody's telling you that you need to do this, but you doing this just for yourself. That is an effort, and it portrays how much that care and how you are willing to put in effort for yourself. As I said, these are things that you can even do with your friends, your family, loved ones, with your by yourself or with other people. Doing this is simply fun. So yes, again, all of these things that we looked into has its like benefits of stress reduction, helps you to focus better and better concentration, fine motor skills, and Lastly, yes, the sense of accomplishment. No matter what you do, it's a really nice feeling when you appreciate yourself, when you draw a pattern, when you color a mandala, and you are like, okay, this looks pretty, it looks beautiful. That is really important, because a lot of times that was never thought. That was never thought to, like, recognize and appreciate yourself. It always was seen as something that you don't be prideful. Like anything that you do and it's an accomplishment, you're always told like it's not a big deal, there's nothing to be proud of. But in every stage of life, everyone should take a moment to appreciate whatever they are doing. Even a small act like this can be a part of self-care. It's a way for you to take care of yourself without anybody else supporting you with anything. Of course, there's a lot of other things that you can do to take care of yourself, but this particular thing is something that you give yourself time, that you take effort to say that this is what I enjoy, so I'm going to do this for myself. So that's the whole point of it, because um, as much as we do talk about like me time, and taking time for yourself and taking care of yourself, there's like very little that is like explored on how you can take care of yourself. We did talk about, like in the last session we did speak, like discuss so many ways for us to take care of ourselves. So this is part of like uh, how to take care of yourself, the care part, right? So this is it. uh, Please feel free to ask any questions, anything that you wanted to know more about this, or yeah. As you could see, like I also like I try things out. So it's just a fun activity. So I really hope you get to try it as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We'll try it and come back.
I'm sorry.
I said we will try it and come back.
Yes, and I'm really hoping to meet you all next week as well. Next week, we are going to look at mindfulness practices and see how we can, like, maybe next week we will do it together. I really hope to do it together. I know today I was not able to, like, inform you all prior that, we couldn't get any supplies yet. So next week, when we do mindfulness, we'll do some visualization. We'll do it together.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.